So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman, and I love being here each and every week with you and Dana Hunter and Gary Knapp. We're very blessed to be able to host this call and receive all the knowledge and support that our global Manitech family offers us. And today is no exception. We're very privileged to have Bev and Karen. Karen Dennis is a former nurse. She's a mother of 4 children and grandmother to 6. She studied nutrition and supplementation for many years and began her Manitech business in 2002. She's reached the 6-figure income level in just over 2 years and has earned many awards in the process. Karen was Associate of the Year in Australasia in 2008 and again in 2013. She's been top International Business Builders of the Year in 2007 and again in 13. And in addition, she's been in the top 5 Associates of the Year in 2008, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, and 18. And Karen might need to update me on that. In 2012, she was the recipient of the Giving Spirit Award in Australasia and also inducted into the $1 Million Club, a prestigious group comprised of associates who have earned over $1 million in their Manitech businesses. In this training, Karen is joined by Gold Executive Director Bev Walker, and both of them are going to be giving us their guidance and personal experience on fully implementing the team bonus system in their businesses. So, ladies, thank you so much for being here. I'm very appreciative.
The pleasure.
So, Karen, did you want me just to hand over to you? Because just for everybody's viewing interest, Karen's going to do a short PowerPoint presentation, and then we're going to be talking about the practicalities and Q&A and tips and what do you call it, problem solving along the way. Did you want to just start with your presentation, Karen, or do you want me to?
Well, I guess one of the key things with the team bonus is 500 PV. So I thought it would be good if we discussed that first. And I'd really like to do it with Bev as well. You know, I'd like you to sort of interject and let's do it together, Bev. You know, your various tips of what it means and how to get to 500 PV. And I'm going to show you a slideshow of what the team bonus is. But I just thought we'd just focus on this 500 PV for the moment, because it's very significant, not just with the team bonus, but with the new bonuses that have come in with the Power Seller bonus, which we'll also talk about today. So is that okay, Sharon, if we sort of backwards and forwards a bit?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Karen, you're a little bit quiet.
Am I? Oh, I'll come a bit closer. Is that any better?
Yeah, it is great.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know, it's sort of revolutionized our business, and in a way, it's such an easy offer to our customers as well. You know, because I've just recently registered a few people, and it was really easy for me to offer the benefits of being an associate, and you know, because one had already referred somebody, so I think it's a business bonus for everyone, and it's going to be put in place for people to afford their product and be sustainable with Manitech, and the big goal is having their health looked after on a consistent basis.
Yeah. Well, I guess one of the main things, I know there's a lot of people on this call that are very experienced, but there may be some new people. So the first basic thing is understanding what zero level is, because that confuses a lot of people. So with your Manitech business, when you enroll associates, they're part of your downline. When you enroll customers, preferred customers, they're part of your zero level. And your personal orders are part of your zero level also. So to get to 500 PV, which is the first step, if you're going to be earning this team bonus, the first step is that you must get to 500 PV. So many of you, I'm sure, already are, and maybe even more than that. But it's just looking at the different ways you can do it. And in line with, you can just buy the whole 500 PV yourself, or you can have multiple customers and you might only be buying 100 PV. No, you'd want to be buying more than that if you're serious, because you'd be taking a lot more products than that. But, you know, the Core 5 bundle, for instance, if people are just on the basics of a maintenance amount of the 5 core products, it is the Ambitose complex in that bundle, but still it's a good bundle. That's 208 PV for a start. So, you know, you could have just the Core 5 and you could have 2 customers with the Core 5 and you'd be on 600 PV, for instance. So the great thing is you only, for the power seller bonus, which we'll come to later, your customers only must have 50 PV. So that's, you know, that's a great thing too. So they don't have to be buying huge amounts, but you need at least 2 customers with 50 PV. So just to be sort of working this out and working out different strategies. And of course you can't do that really without having Success Tracker. I think that's imperative. You know, we've got to have that to be able to look at our tree diagram. I'd be lost without the tree diagram. It just gives you so much information and you can see where things are. And the other part in Success Tracker, of course, is how to get to the next leadership level. So, because that tells you clearly, it has a hot, you know, the section for your 0 level. And you'd be amazed how often, you know, people can miss out on something. You could be on 480 PV on 0 level and, you know, be missing out on some of the power seller bonus for that, you know, for just not checking. So I just love Success Tracker. I'm on there every day and, you know, just keeping an eye on what's going on. And that way you can keep an eye on other people, keep an eye on your customers, you know. You might have a customer who suddenly changes their order and it's only 48 PV. So that's pretty important to you. If you've only got 2, you want to find another one. Yes. So do you have anything else to add in that arena, Bev?
What you said is absolutely correct. I just want to also comment that Jenny Messenger's last Business Builder Zoom was excellent for that. She covered such a lot of the basis. And when I was thinking about today, I thought, well, that's fitted in so well with what we're talking about now. Because yes, I'm the same as you. I watch it each day and need to be able to then help people and be in constant contact, not sort of pestering, but just sort of saying this is what's happening. Yep. So well done, Karen. It's fantastic what you're saying.
That's okay. Oh, that's great. And of course, this whole issue with your customers is looking after them. And that's been the strength of my business from the beginning. I love the products. I turned the grand old age of 70 last November. Oh my God. And, you know, it's nearly 19 and a half years now, and my health is just great. You know, I don't even dye my hair anymore and it's still got a bit of colour. So that's good. So, you know, the products are so amazing. And I think, you know, when you're talking to customers, you just need to keep up the contact. I mean, I've got plenty of people in my business who do their own orders and I don't talk to them. Some still I don't know. But for the ones that are my customers, their care is really important. You know, I ring for a lot of them, I adjust their orders, I manage their loyalty program, I do all of that. And that way I can tell them about specials, you know, the Manipul special. I love the skincare specials because I love all the skincare. And I love the candles. So anytime those specials come up, you know, you've got a chance to talk about them. And I have a lot of success.
And Karen,
yes,
just on that too, I feel, I'm not quite sure, but I feel there have been more specials to help us with that over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic. We go from one special to another.
Absolutely.
Which gives people a chance to take advantage of those. So that's a really good thing corporate have done too.
Absolutely. And it just means also that you can get people on more products. Or sometimes it just means, you know, they'll take more products, they'll get onto a different range. That helps get your PV up again. Yeah. So it's all about, you know, getting that PV up. And the more you look after people often and explain, you know, why another product may help them, you know, they're on the plus for their hormones, but their omega-3 really is part of their hormones as well. And, you know, being able to just talk about the products, because if you're in contact with people, their circumstances change. You know, they may have just had an accident or whatever. I had a guy, a classic customer of mine only the other day. He's my wood man. I buy my wood from him. And he's in his 60s and does a lot of heavy lifting, and he put his neck out and he was in agony. And he couldn't get into a chiropractor for ages. So I don't know if I'm supposed to do this, but I'll just do it anyway. I told him to take four bouts back and double his Omega, and then later in the afternoon, 2 hours after lunch, have another 4 bounce back. Well, he rang me at 5 o'clock to say he can't believe it. You know, he just was able to move. He didn't think he'd be able to do anything all day, but he was able to move. So by being in contact, you know, and with their lives and what's going on, you know, he's going to be a bounce back user forever. He had it, but he didn't take it very often. But now he really understands what it does. So that's
Yeah,
just
and that's talking with people can do that. If you're only online and never actually voice to voice, you don't hear what's happening in their lives at that time, and that changes considerably, doesn't it?
Absolutely, Bev.
Yeah.
So so I think that's, I think I've covered all those things. And of course, the loyalty program. That's the other thing that, you know, I find so advantageous with keeping people in, getting them onto new products, managing it. You know, I'm never looking to decrease their orders with their loyalty. I'm always looking to take extra because usually they need more, or to try new products. So that's another big thing, because that's going to make it easier. All we're talking about here is ways of getting to 500 PV for yourself firstly, and then helping others by doing the same as you.
And
Bev,
that's really important, isn't it, Karen, what you just said? Because to have an extra Ambertose and to gradually increase that knowledge base with your clients, that sometimes your body needs more. If you're under more stress, or if you feel something coming on, have that ability to double the nutrients, because it's food and your body is consuming more when it's facing a challenge. And when they haven't had that extra bottle available, then, you know, I used to have a customer that just was always in a panic because he'd run out before the end of the month. And to get through his head to have an extra took me a while.
Yep. And Sharon, that's when the loyalty program becomes so powerful too, because it could be in those first, you know, few months and they're still not sure this is a good idea. You know, they're sort of trusting you and hoping it's going to work. And you want them to take extra, but oh no, I can't afford it. But say, well, look, you've only got a little while to wait and you'll be able to get some extra with your loyalty. And, you know, and it's not because they can't afford it usually, it's just they don't believe enough yet. So if you can just keep hanging them in till that loyalty month in the 4th month, and of course now, you know, it's 20% from the beginning. So you can start telling them where they're already up to. I do that too. It's all about brainwashing them and telling them, you know, what's going on. And you know, they can get the extra, and then they get the results, and then their whole belief system starts to shift, you know, and they start to really trust, and you've got a customer for life, you know, hopefully. Anyway, that's about all I was going to say as far as setting up, you know.
That 500 foundation. Yeah.
Bev, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think you've done a wonderful job. Thank you, Karen. I just do want to say how honoured I feel being on the same panel with you, who I've been a leader for so long.
Yeah.
So you keep talking.
Yeah. But you're the same as me, Bev. You've just persisted. You've just cared about customers, cared about people. You know what the products do. You've had amazing results yourself, and we've both seen it with people in our business. And how can you turn away from this, you know? Yeah. And especially as things are at the moment, you know, I mean, immune system health hasn't been talked about much, but how critical is that at the moment? So, you know, I know
I've noticed over these last couple of years with all this happening, that a lot of orders have actually increased because of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yes, absolutely.
That fits in, especially when you can help explain the benefits.
And you can't do that if you're not talking to people.
No, that's right.
You know, yes, it takes time. And yes, people forget I always make appointments. I think that's a big deal. I've never been a random ringer because I don't like being rung randomly. So I practice what I preach and I make appointments, and people miss them, and it can be annoying, but you know, you can't be annoyed. You just persist. You send them a message, sorry, I missed you, you know, I'll ring you back. So it's just always putting their needs first, you know, always putting their needs first.
And Karen, there's a question in regards to finding out the loyalty reward total for your clients. What's both of your practice?
That's easy because it's well, I'm going to get to that on the slideshow.
Okay,
Do you
perfect.
want me? Do you
Yeah.
want me to? Can you ask me again? Shall we wait till I get to it, or shall I
Absolutely.
do it?
No,
I can do it
bring-
now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Well, you know, it's changed. The bottom line is, if you're managing people's orders, you can only see people's loyalty in their own account. There's no way you can see it any other way. And because I have, for all my customers, I do their orders. You know, for lots of them. A lot of them were associates, but are now really only customers. So I have access to their site. So I can see what it is. I can add up. I can see what they spent, and it's very simple doing a percentage. You know, I won't go into the old percentages because it's been made so easy. Thank you, Manatech. 20% right from the beginning. So if they've spent, you know, and I tell them this, you know, this is part of my encouragement. Oh, well, you spent $300 on that first order, so that's already $60. You've got in loyalty building up. $60 of free product. It's not hard maths.
Take that, I heard.
Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, no, it's great. And you can also call customer service too, you know, if you're trying to help a client. Because I've got some that manage their own orders, but they need to they don't really understand the back office and to be prompted. So yeah, no, that's fantastic. No, that's great.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So shall I do the slideshow now and talk about the team bonus? Okay. Yeah. Well, let's hope this works. Sharon told me what I have to do. So can you see that all okay?
Yeah, that's perfect, Karen.
Oh, it's supposed to be, there we go. I might just move you guys out of the way. So the team bonus, or the business development bonus as it was officially called, is I just love it. And they made some increases to it recently, which is exciting. So as we've already said, Bev and I create 500 PV on your 0 level, which is your order plus your customers. So there's you with 500 PV. That you must have 500 PV to get this team bonus. Then you need to help one other associate or get their 500 PV. So they do exactly the same. To get this team bonus, you need to have at least 2 people with 500 PV, and they're just the same for them. You know, they with their order and their customer's order. So that's pretty simple to understand, and all the same ways you worked out that you'd get to 500 PV, you help them get to 500 PV. And then you earn the Team 2 bonus because you've got 2 in your team that are associates with 500 PV. You've got 500 PV and you now earn $125. Very simple. Most of you know this. So then to go on to the next level, to a Team 4 bonus, you just need to add another 2 associates. You still need your 500 and you add 2 more associates. So you now get the Team 4 bonus, which is $315. And just just so you're clear, when you look at your commission statements, it's not listed as 315. They write the Team 2 at 125 and the Team 4 at 190. So don't panic if you ever see that and think, oh, it's supposed to be 315, because if you add the 2 together, it is 315. So one of the reasons Sharon asked us on today is because Bev and I are earning Team 6, and this was a new thing that the company brought in at it was the end of last year, which was really exciting. So Bev and I have been able to do this to get to the Team 6, which isn't really rocket science to work out what it's going to be. You now just need 6 associates and doing the same thing, which congratulations, Bev.
Thank you.
And, you know, this has taken a time. You know, some of these people have been in my business for a long time. And
That's
they, you know, they.
Yeah, sorry,
Bev, go on. No.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The majority of mine have been there with us and just been wonderful associates, but basically product users for many, many years. And then suddenly they're upping either their order, or they're starting to have people who are now believing them, even their family.
Yep.
One associate who was for about 7 years using the product, and now the family is starting to see the benefits, and he has brother and son and grandsons all wanting the same thing, where nobody would listen to him for a long time. So that's a wonderful, that's the longevity of just being around and believing, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I do just want to make the point, they don't have to have any customers
No.
to get this team bonus. You know, they could it could be just an associate buying 500 PV themselves and not have, they just don't want to have any customers for whatever reason, but they may not have any. So, you know, again, helping them with the products, and 500 PV, when you're taking a lot of product, is quite easy to just buy yourself. So that can be the case too. You know, probably not if they're an associate, but it could be. They may only have one customer. That's okay too. So now the Team 6 bonus is $565, which is really exciting. And once again, that's added at the bottom of your commission statement. So if you look and see you only got Team 2 and Team 4, you know, look down a bit further, because they list the extra Team 6 bonus separately because it was an added thing. I was going to say something about that, now it's gone out of my head. I can't remember. Anyway.
Can I say
right.
one thing about that too, with just structure of, and this is where you look on your success tracker.
Thanks, Bev.
Structure of how we used to do things way back. It was encouraged, perhaps, I'm not quite sure of the correct word, of sometimes having a husband and a wife, for example, having two different sites.
Yes.
And because it was more beneficial at that stage. However, with all this wonderful new plan, etc., I've found that if they join together and have the one site with the couple now, and their order obviously is going to increase, and that was one really good thing about seeing how the team bonus of 500 works so well.
And I just remembered there's one really important point I didn't make. These associates must be personally enrolled. That's a pretty important point. So I've got many associates in my business who are over 500 PV, but if they're not personally enrolled, it doesn't count. It counts for the person who enrolled them. So that's another thing to be looking at, you know, people in your business who have associates, you know, making sure they understand if they, you know, they might even have someone under them they've enrolled who's got more PV than them, and explaining if they get to 500 PV, you know, and have two associates. So this is where Success Tracker and the tree diagram is so vital, being able to check where things are at. Anyway, moving right along, there's also two more. And again, you must have your 500 PV, and there's a Team 8. If you have a Team 8 bonus, you get $815. And I'm very proud to say I did Team 8 in June. Yay! Oh. Yeah, first time. And you know what? It was, I have to really thank Manatech because, and Sharon for asking us to come on. Because to be honest with you, I wasn't checking on this myself. I'm really fessing up here. I knew I was getting Team 6 and I was fine. But when I checked, I had 7 and I hadn't been looking. So I just had to make a bit more of an effort.
Good on you.
And I got to Team 8 last month. So that's really exciting. And then Team 10 is 1,065. So this is a wonderful bonus. But it's not just personal, is it? You know, there's so many people taking more product and being helped if you achieve these bonuses, you know. That's what's great. It's a win-win. Move on, you right?
Yes.
Yep.
So now to the Power Seller bonus, which I'm super excited about, the changes with this. I'm shocked. Thank you, Jenny. I'm very shocked that this has changed. So this is directly from the company. I just copied it in here. So the Power Seller bonus, we've always had the Power 10, as it's called. And what this is a separate bonus. And again, this is to do with zero level. Okay, so different from the team bonus, this is just about your zero level volume. So if you've got 200 PV on zero level, you must have at least 150 yourself to be earning bonuses. I think that's still a rule. And you've got 2 customers, you earn 10% power seller bonus. Okay, that hasn't changed. That's as it is now. Anywhere between 200 and 499 PV on zero level with 2 customers, you will get 10%. Now that 10% is, you can't really work it out. It's too hard because that's based on your CV, as they call it, which is the actual cost of the products without the GST and without the freight. So don't even try and work it out. It's too hard. But anyway, that's what it's paid on, not the PV and not the total amount of the orders, but just the cost of the products that have been purchased by you and your customers. So then the next one's a change, Power 15. So this is a great one. This is, again, we get to this fabulous 500 PV on zero level. It now goes up to 15%. But the really exciting part about this is, to get this, you used to have 5 customers. And I know I have got many people in my business who, you know, were over 500 PV, but might only have 3 or 4 customers. And so this is really exciting now. You only have to have 2. Of course, the more you've got, the better, because your volume's higher and you get more bonus. But remember, these customers also, the minimum order must be 50 PV. That's something to keep in mind. So like I said before, if it drops to 48, they won't count. So 15% if you've got over 500 PV on zero level and you've got 2 customers. And blow the trumpets, here's the new one, which is so incredible. 20% if you've got 1,000 PV or more, and you still only need 2 customers. This is so cool. I can't believe it. It's so exciting. And how encouraging for people, you know, wanting the products, worried about affording them, whatever. You know, this is just a powerful tool to encourage them. And there's a lot of people in my business over 1,000 PV. Some of them with no customers, only been getting, 2 customers, I'm sorry, getting 10%. So it's basically 100% pay increase. So this is great. Anything to add to that, Bev? Don't you think this is incredible?
Oh, it's wonderful. All of these additions or enhancements to the plan this last time were just fantastic. Yeah.
And they really move people towards the right action, don't they? Because sometimes
Yes.
people had to focus on juggling numbers and to get 5 active at the right level and 5 at 100, what it was a while ago. So, you know, these changes move people into a really sustainable and solid business as opposed to trying to juggle the plan.
Absolutely. And, you know, just to look at that, you know, 1,000 PV on zero level at 20% is what? $200, right? $200 if it was just paid on PV, but it's paid on CV. So just this bonus alone is going to be quite a bit over $200. So it's really worth attaining. You know, you may need more customers to get to 1,000 PV, but you only have to have 2. So I think It's just wonderful. Okay, and last but not least, I just wanted to mention the loyalty program, which I love so much.
Yeah.
I remember the days, and Bev will too, and Sharon and Diana and Gary will too, and a lot of people on the call.
Yeah.
When we hated bringing up the subject of the automatic order. Remember those days?
That's right. Yep.
But, you know, we've just got them to spend all this money and now they've got to have an automatic order and spend more money. And the loyalty program obliterated that, you know, explaining to people that they're now earning 10%, which is what it was before, 10% every month of what they've spent, and they only have to wait 3 months. And, You know, I would work it out for them to give them some idea. And this is 20% on their total order, not the freight, obviously, but their total order. So if their product part of the order is $500, it's $100. Anyway, now it's gone up to 20% from day one.
Yep.
From day one. I'm flabbergasted. The amount has doubled, and it's gone, and it
Immediate.
Day one.
Certainly helps the explanation of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, instead of saying you get 10% for the first 3 months, then 15, and then
Oh yes, Bev. Yeah. Absolutely, and you had to keep repeating it because people couldn't understand it or
Yeah.
remember it.
You could feel everybody giving a collective sigh of relief talking about this one,
Yeah.
the whole country.
Yeah. Well, I've got a Cambodian lady in Dita's business in Melbourne. Dita's on the call, I know, and she sent me messages. Is this really true? Is it 20%? She sent me about 4 messages. Is this really true? And I just keep saying yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it's so generous.
Yeah, it is.
And so customer focused, isn't it? You know, it really paints Mannatech as a customer
Absolutely
driven company.
Yeah. But just remembering there is still the 3 months consistent auto order before claiming. But you know what? I think that I'm so glad that exists, because you want them to hang in. But the other advantage is it's going to be so much money in the 4th month. It's going to give them a real boost. You know, it might even be another whole tub of Ambrotos they might have accrued, you know. Yeah. So having to wait the 3 months, I think, is better than if it happens straight away, because it'll be more money and have a more profound effect.
Yeah. And, you know, what I find really works is that I could say that people tell me, or, you know, consistently people tell me their experiences is that they're really glad to have that extra tub of Ambertos for those times when they feel a cold or flu coming on, or some aches and pains, and they can be really proactive. So it's going to be really easy for you to achieve that by your 4th month. So just saying things like that plants a seed for them and really solidifies the benefit of that automatic order.
That's right, Sharon. And I mean, I've used it across the board with Ambrotos, but also Omega, because it's got vitamin D3 in it. And so, you know, there's been a lot in the health press in the last 18 months about vitamin D. Lots of very famous doctors have, you know, said about vitamin D. So I've really promoted that. And I know for a fact, if people are emotionally struggling, which a lot of people are at present, extra omega-3 makes a massive difference. I know people very well that have had a lift in their spirits just by increasing their omega-3, and I'm sure it's the D3 as well. So you can talk about those things that are current, you know, like current issues, without going into, you know, promises or any of the things we're not allowed to do. But also vitamin C has been, you know, really talked about a lot. We need a lot of vitamin C to protect us, and we're still in the middle of winter in Australia. So, you know, we've got the AO with great vitamin C, we've got the Catalyst with great vitamin C, and we've got the Manna-C. I personally take all 3. So, you know, there's a lot of things you can talk about to encourage people to take more products, and they feel better as a result, and then they trust you more, and then they take more notice of what you say. It's a cycle. You help them get results, they trust you, they trust the products, and, you know, they keep going. Anyway.
And I think that not having those first 3 months before you're able to have that gives the real message of it's not a one-pot wonder.
Yes. You
need that consistency. That's been such a backing for me, explaining that, and that's why it's done that way.
Yes,
it may
absolutely.
not be why it's done that way, but that's what I use it for, because it makes sense.
Absolutely, Bev.
Anyway, we've had a couple questions too. I can't remember the answer to this one. Is there still any bonuses that require the 150 personal PV?
Well, I think
it changed, but I can't remember.
Well, I'm not sure, but I think you still have to have 150 personal, but that might have changed. So
for some bonuses. So we might have to get checked
Check
out
on
with
that.
customer service on Monday.
Yeah.
I apologize. I got a bit confused with those changes.
Yeah, me too. It should be in the comp plan thing that just came out with these changes. There was a revised comp plan thing that it's in the library. So it may be on that too. That's somewhere you could check in the library.
And we've had a few questions here about associates who don't renew. Do they go then automatically change to a customer at 0 level? I thought they'd just be still in the line as associates.
Yeah, they stay where they are. No, they don't move to 0 level. They just are customers.
Yeah,
Still adding to your volume.
Because they can't change the type of account. The number stays as an associate or the number stays as a preferred customer.
I'll stop sharing, by the way. Sorry, I meant to stop that. Yes, no, it doesn't. They stay where they are, Sharon.
So the good news is that all these changes are so fantastic. Like it's the best changes in 23 years, in my opinion.
I agree.
It's equally business and customer focused and really drives, because some things in the past, we were driven to build a business that is in a sustainable structure and doing things for certain bonuses. And it was tough. This is really, really great. So and a few things have changed in stages. So, forgive us for not having all the exact memory of some of the questions that we'll have to ask on Monday. Another thing I wanted to cover is that some practicality. So I think there's a question here. I think Dana you might have to pop. Dana says we need to cover on some of the questions. So Dana might just pop in if there's something we've missed, because I can't keep up there in the chat.
I just think to if maybe we should go into the Q&A box and see what's been asked and answered there, because I'm not sure.
I did do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we're just talking about sponsor enroller and associates moving to customer level, which as far as we know, they don't, but Rhonda thinks they do. So we'll have to get that clarified on Monday.
And the other one was our team 8 and 10 finishing soon. And I did hear Chris Simon say it was being reviewed at the end of this year. It was in I think a 12-month trial, or anyway, still in trial. So he was non-committal on that, but I think if people are going for it, I suspect it would be positively viewed. Do you know any further, Karen?
Sorry, say that again. I was looking at one of the questions. Sorry.
That's right. The team 8 and 10, and maybe even 6, I'm not 100% sure about the 6, were new bonuses that were brought in during COVID. I remember when it happened. I don't remember exactly when. It was in a trial. And I did hear Chris Simon say in his last presentation on the latest enhancements that it was going to be reviewed at the end of this year. Is that your understanding?
Well,
and
I
Jenny's
didn't
just
know
confirmed
that.
it's under review.
I certainly remember him saying it was a trial to see how it went. I just hope it keeps going.
Yeah, Jenny's just put in the messenger to us that it's being reviewed, but they're voting for it to continue. Obviously,
cool.
Got a cheering squad out there in our corporate support team.
Yeah.
And
well, I just see this all working together, the 20%.
Absolutely.
Our seller bonus, it's all working together to encourage people to be able to take.
Especially for those memory confused, it's all easy now. It's pretty well. The other thing I want to touch on is that Bev and I had a quick meeting prior to organizing this, and she's done some really amazing systems to track. And I thought, Bev, did you want to show those charts that you use? Like, it's really, people can use success trackers. Some people don't have tree view. Some people are more visual than looking at a screen. So I thought it was brilliant what you're doing. Can you share that?
Thanks, Sharon. First, I want to say that for many years, I've been pretty slack in all really looking at this until our Upline the Davey team. Rachel is so well organised in all she was doing, and she's taught on that. However, and I wanted to use that information, but I'm more a visual person and I'm not an IT person. I have a wonderful downline who helps me with all my IT problems, but I've got to draw things. And I remember, Karen, you may remember, and Sharon may remember, years ago from the stage at one of our big events, somebody saying, you really need to hand draw your team out so you can get a picture of where they are. It's all right seeing it on a screen there, but then, so after that was years ago, and I thought, that's a great idea, but didn't do anything about it, which is a bit slack.
I did.
And you did?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, once Rachel started explaining her way, I thought, I'm going to go back to that other thing. So March last year, I'll sort of show you this one, if you can see it.
Yeah.
That one was March, and it showed I had the 4, and with the major, you don't do all of you people, but the major players, I suppose, the groups.
Mhm.
And then that one was April there, and that's with that had team 4, and this one I could see was team 5. They're my own personals, and the other colour are the teams. Until this year, it's sort of more coming up to
Look
team
at you.
6.
Oh, Bev.
Wow.
Team 6 here. And for my people who are watching from my team, don't worry, I've blocked out names.
Yeah, we had to talk about that, didn't we?
Yes, I just didn't want anyone to feel I was intruding on their privacy. But that, by doing that month after month and just going along, this is all the months for the last 2 years, last 18 months, nearly 2 years.
Fantastic.
Really shows,
Yeah.
to me, that's the vision of what I'm aiming for, because you can't always see everything on your screen for Success Tracker, either the old way or the new way. You've got to keep locking things. So if you want to look at your main groups, this is the way I do it. And I've had far more of a picture in my brain of who's doing what and how I could help them by looking that way. So thanks, Sharon, for that.
Oh, I thought it was amazing. I thought, well done. Go Bev. So I think we pretty well covered everything, and I think we've covered. So obviously, there's a few questions that to clarify the 150 points, and we won't know about the review, but I think there's a lot of praying people or visualizing people on this call. We can see it continuing as it's in alignment with all the other supportive changes they've made on behalf of all of us. So we're so they're saying, Jeff, you should have been an accountant, Bev. There you go. So there's, I'm really, really impressed. I can confess to having times of frustration in the past when certain bonuses led to, unsustainable structure, or have, a feeling of people putting in a position have to pressure people. And this is so customer focused and business focused. I think they've nailed it. So thank you, Manatech. And did you want to say any final words, Karen and Beth?
No, I just think, like Bev's done with her breakdown and I do with Success Tracker, just keeping an eye on your business is the key, and I have, unlike Bev, I have a list of all my personally enrolled, and I just write it down. So when I go in, I can just go to how to get to the next leadership level, and I put their account number in, and I can see where they are. And I've been able to save a lot that way, because I bring it up and they're just coming in under, or they're just close, or, whatever. One customer may be an exception or something like that, So
we've also got a question, Karen, for you, to just review what you said previously on how to recommend people regularly use their loyalty as opposed to building it up and having, really cutting their order back. So okay. Karen did give some suggestions, but let's just refresh that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I always focus on, in those first 3 months, you're building this relationship to help them keep going. You're talking about the loyalty they're accruing if necessary. Not everybody's necessary. But then I've sort of got them programmed, I guess, that, about what they might need. And I never talk about cutting their order back. I mean, I'm not saying some people don't. They say, well, can't I just get less? Some people will say that. And I say, yes, you can. And, if they have to, they have to. I mean, it's their order, it's their decision. But I just do my best to encourage them to, try something extra, try some skincare, or a bit of extra omega or another plus. One of my favourite phrases are, these amounts, the maintenance amounts, are the maintenance amounts for, a young, healthy person based on what's missing in the food. So, in other words, you're not a young, healthy person. Well, usually they're not that young, So, I mean, people laugh. You don't have to say that because it sounds rude, but, they get what you're saying. So I just encourage them to get more, Some people still will cut their orders back, but that's very rare for me. I can usually get them to get some Manna Bears for the children or whatever. Yeah. Does that answer the question, do you think?
I think so. Yeah. So you can think of other, gradually educating them on other technologies within the company range. And
Yep.
really, I think that making sure they have extra is a real foundational, and it's just the truth. Our cells need extra sometimes, and sometimes we learn that the hard way, and it's way better to have a spare.
Absolutely.
My cupboard looks like a Manatech warehouse, and it's, and I just feel secure knowing that it's there. It's really,
Yes.
Well, and I use exactly what I think I learned it from you, Karen, that the main thing for a young, healthy person but also Dr. Nugent, when he talks about a fresh new car, remember coming out from the warehouse, just created, everything's all new and beautiful. It's a young car, and then it starts going uphill, or in my case, as the age comes, and you're actually needing more support for that car to function as well as it did.
Absolutely.
As a young one, and because I'm associating with people roughly my own age, I suppose, or a little bit younger. Nobody's quite as old as me, I don't think, but they appreciate that and they understand it. And I haven't had anybody who feels rude or feels that I'm being rude to them because I'm there myself. So I say, I need this support for me. And that's how I say it. When it's my body, this is what I do to help keep that support, rather than saying, you've got to, So for me, my body, this is what I choose to do.
Yeah. And another thing I think that's been a really great thing I've always done is I have so many stories because I've been in Manatech for so long and talk to people continuously. I can be talking to someone in a certain situation. I can say, well, I did have another lady who was in a similar situation to you, and it's a true story, and they took more of this or more of that, and it was amazing what a difference it made. So I'm a big storyteller.
Yes.
People love stories.
And it's more compliant too, because it's not prescriptive, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's like,
Exactly.
So there's some few questions in the chat about that. And so Graham, that will help you as well. So start gathering those stories, even though, we only alluded to them today, but go to as many meetings and live meetings and team meetings as you can. This call has some restrictions and because it's publicly hosted. So not that we break the rules, but
No, we haven't.
No, it's just about nutrition, right? So you're giving your body what your body needs. And if somebody's just said in the chat, the food's not about to change anytime soon, and it's only get less nutritious. So, we're a saving grace for people when they're ready to hear it.
And that's a great answer when people ask you, that whoever just said that, it's true. Because often people will say, well, how long do I have to keep taking this? Or will I have to take it forever? And instead of coming back with a smart response, I always say, well, do you think the food's going to change and get better? And they answer the question themselves without me being, pushy. So I think it's always good to ask a question and help people work it out themselves. So that's a good question, whoever said that.
Fantastic. So Karen, I'm dubbing you in to do a call in the next couple of months around that, around educating customers. We haven't done it for 3 or 4 years, probably.
Okay.
It's time.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
See, I put her on the spot publicly.
Yeah, in front of everybody. Good one. I'll get you.
Oh, well, it's so powerful. and I missed those days, so we need to do it again. So
Yeah.
God bless both of you. Thank you very much with such generosity of both of your knowledge and experience and sharing that with us today. Mannatech is really blessed to have you both. So
Oh,
thank you very much.
very much. And we're all blessed to have you guys doing
Yes,
you,
for sure.
Sharon and Diana and Gary. We really
Yeah.
thank you. You're
Yeah.
amazing warriors. So thank you.
And
Well, it's a high spot in my week, that's for sure.
the way you pick people to come on before this one, to have Ty last week, I thought his ideas on customer and people relationships really fitted into this whole thing. And then with Jenny during the week, it just all built up to seeing how it all fits together.
Mm.
So, and my main last word would be keep going, don't give up. What looks slow and what looks hard at first or any time through your life, not just first day, Karen. It can be any time. And all of you would know that, but persist.
We're getting younger, aren't we, Bev?
I think so. Definitely.
Yeah.
More energy.
Well, we're
Yep.
all over 60,
Yep.
and most people wouldn't know our age, the numbers.
Well,
so
according to the mainstream news, we're the most vulnerable.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Hello. Don't agree.
That's a good note to finish on. Thank you very much, Karen and Bev. And thank you all for being here. We're really privileged to have you at your company as well. So I'm not sure what I'm doing next week, but I'll figure out something.
Okay.
We've got some good people coming. We've got Dr. Nugent coming again. We've got James Hannon. We've got somebody else that just isn't in my memory right now. So, but next week's not handled yet, but I will find someone. So thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. And thanks again to Bev and Karen.
Our pleasure. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Gary.